Am I in the wrong for calling my mom out in front of our counselor and telling her she wasn't a good mother after years of abuse, neglect, and losing custody of my sisters? Posted by you/PureClonergy. My name is Julia. I'm 23. My mother, Victoria, is 41 and has 6 children. Me, my brother, 23, and my sisters, 22, 19, 17, and 16. Our childhood was chaotic. My mother's pattern was always the same. She would get involved with men who were abusive. My siblings and I witnessed her boyfriends beat her and berate her. Her second boyfriend hit us when we were younger. There's more, but it would take a novel to cover it all. 5 years ago, my mother lost custody of my 3 younger sisters. Her most recent ex-boyfriend was sexually abusing them. My brother and I didn't want our sisters in foster care, so we begged our grandmother to take them in until we could figure out a plan or get custody ourselves. Our grandmother, who is truly a saint, took them in and told my brother and me to focus on our lives in college. My brother graduated last year. I dropped out because I couldn't afford tuition, but I'm working and doing my best. My sisters are happy with my grandmother, and she loves having them. After my mother lost custody, all of us, including my grandmother, cut contact with her. 2 months ago, my mother emailed me, saying she wanted to reconnect and do family therapy. I ignored her first email, but she sent another one a month later, saying she'd broken up with her boyfriend and missed us. She wanted therapy because she had a lot of pain and knew we probably did too. I talked to my grandmother, who told me to let my siblings decide for themselves. When I asked them, the youngest wanted to see our mom, but the rest of us were hesitant. For their sake, I agreed to respond to my mom and set up a meeting. 3 weeks ago, we met at a restaurant. My mother looked exhausted but eager. I declined a hug. I wasn't comfortable. She looked angry. She caught up with us and then asked my younger siblings if they'd consider coming back home so she could regain custody. They looked uncomfortable and said they weren't sure. I tried to change the subject, but she kept bringing it back to how we could be a family again. I checked out emotionally and barely remember the rest. That night, my mom emailed me, upset that I hadn't hugged her or said goodbye. She said I was giving my siblings a bad impression and that they'd start mistreating her too. Her audacity made me angry. I didn't respond. She sent another email, this time a confirmation for our first family therapy session. At therapy, we did the usual introductions. Later, my mom started talking about how she did everything to protect us. The silence from my siblings and me was loud. The counselor asked how we felt. No one spoke. I wasn't planning to either, but then my mom accused me of telling my siblings not to speak and said I was turning them against her. She claimed she set up therapy to help us, not to split us apart. I snapped. I started yelling that she wasn't a good mom and did nothing to protect us. She vented to me about her relationships and problems, making me internalize her stress. She never protected my brother when her boyfriends beat him for defending us. She didn't report her ex when my sisters told her about the abuse. I went on and on. My mom started bawling. My siblings cried too. I told the therapist that if anyone was splitting the family up, it was her, with her stupidity, ignorance, and neglect. I was breathing hard and furious. The therapist called for a break, but I said I was done. I refused to sit and listen to my mom blame me for her problems. The session ended quickly. That night, my phone blew up with calls and texts from my mother's side of the family. They berated me for hurting my mom and making her feel horrible, saying she was trying to turn over a new leaf and rebuild relationships. After all the calls and texts, I felt like a terrible person for what I'd said to her. So, honestly, am I in the wrong? Relevant comments. Ritlingit. She tried manipulating you into manipulating your sisters into agreeing with custody after gaslighting you for not being loving with her. Then she lied to the counselor about how she treated you in her relationships and in her custody. Then lied about you influencing your sisters. If that counselor was worth her observations she'd see through your mother's BS. Definitely get therapy, but without your mother. She doesn't want to fix things with her children. She probably wants the money that comes with support of your youngest sisters. Why would she alienate you if she wants to reunite the family? Opie, I'm pretty sure our counselor did. During my outburst, I noticed her writing a lot on her notepad. I'm pretty sure my mom will try to reach out to her to force contact or try to schedule another session, but I'm honestly declining it. She has already proved that she will continue to not protect us, or even apologize. Golden fingernails. Nope, NTA. She made that meeting about her, didn't she? She had it coming. Her side of the family is only hearing her side of the story, and of course she's telling all of them you wanted to turn your siblings against her. JFC, what delusional BS is this? Your mom isn't ready to mother any of you. She needs a few more years of proving herself before she can even ask that question. I'm hoping your grandma is on your side. Sounds like she is. Do your siblings feel like you are out of line? Or do they agree with you? Perhaps have a convo with them and see what they feel and want to do. Good luck, Opie. Opie, my siblings agreed with me. Our grandmother always taught us to not be unnecessarily cruel to people. However, she did tell me that sometimes you have to tell a MF about theyself. Her exact words. My siblings were a bit alarmed at how pissed I was because they never saw me like that. My sister described me as a mama bear protecting her cubs. My brother was originally telling me to calm down during the session, but when I brought up the abuse he experienced due to her inactive behavior, he came on my side and told me as such. OP on her family. I honestly don't even know where to begin. I'm crying because the support has been extremely overwhelming, and for once I'm feeling heard and seen. Outside of my grandmother, of course. I truly appreciate the support. I've tried to read all the comments, but they keep rolling in. Again, thank you guys so much. I will add some context seeing as I didn't elaborate much because I didn't want to have type a novel and have anyone read so much. My grandmother, she is my mom's mom. She cut her off because my mom would constantly steal money from her or sneak boys into the house when she knew my grandmother wouldn't like it. My grandmother is a SA survivor of my grandfather / my mom's dad. My grandmother actually took him to court to get him arrested, which is why she is essentially the black sheep to majority of our family. My grandmother explained to me when I was much older that our family has a lot of SA history from family members. Our family is highly religious and feels as though we should pray over them every day to heal them. Why I felt awful. My mother is also a victim of abuse. And I felt like I was being a hypocrite for calling her out and saying what I said because it was as though I wasn't taking her abuse into account either. However, as many of you have mentioned, even with her being a victim, she still let the abuse happen. I think reading that is what made me start crying. Myself and my siblings never got counseling because we just thought it was our fault we experienced the abuse. In our talks before, we often tried to hold the burden of not protecting our mom more. My mom's side of the family, they are enablers and abusers themselves. My grandmother has countless stories about them. I feel as though a part of them wants my siblings and I to make up so we can appear to be a happy family. They do have a serious issue with appearances. My siblings. My brother is the real star. Before we even made it to the first session, he told my youngest sister that our mom would probably say a lot of things, but if she wasn't ready to talk or if she wanted solo therapy, he would pay for it in full. After the session, she decided to do so because she has a lot of complicated feelings about her mom. My other sisters are still emotionally distraught. They thank me for saying the truth and what needed to be said. They said they couldn't say anything because they didn't know how to word it. Like me, they didn't want to be cruel. I truly appreciate all of the comments and the reassurance. I sent my grandmother the post, and she said all of you guys are rock stars and that a majority of you are right about my mother. If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to ask. This has been doing great steps for me to get my own therapy because I let a lot of this build up over years. My tangent to my mom went on for a few minutes before I had to stop because I was so pissed. Update. 1 day later. Hey all, update for those who wanted it. Also heavy abuse TW because I will get emotional and vent a bit later on in this update. If you are a childhood abuse survivor, I wouldn't recommend reading past this since it could possibly be triggering. My siblings and I have decided to go and see with our mother for good. It was a hard conversation this morning, and I felt like an AH again. I felt like my outburst persuaded them to make that decision, so I wouldn't be upset with them. Yet they reassured me throughout the whole conversation that they didn't like that she didn't even apologize. Even when she had the opportunity to. My siblings and I are still struggling with the fact that she won't change, and she probably never will. The driving force for it was the email that I got from Mother at 4 a.m. today. I copied and pasted it here, since I don't know how to post pics / screenshots on mobile. Dear Juju, my nickname when I was younger. I am truly hurt and devastated that you went public with a private matter. Your Annie Mae showed me your Reddit post, and yet you continue to try to villainize me. I was going to explain myself further in therapy, but I'm in a new relationship now with a very loving man. He was the main one who encouraged me to extend the olive branch with you all. I was going to surprise you and your siblings in therapy. However, you ruined it. I stayed my distance from you all because after losing your sisters, it made me realize I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror anymore. It made me realize how much of a worthless piece of shit I was. You calling me a worthless whore of a mother was uncalled for. In those relationships, I couldn't just simply walk away. Where would I have gone? What about you guys? Do you not think it ate me up inside every time you guys cried? Every time I did try to protect you guys just to get the shit beat out of me? Being knocked out cold and not knowing if you guys were safe or not. Did any of that not matter to you? I'm trying to redeem myself while also being a victim, and you simply can't get your own head out of your ass. You bitch and complain about your pain not realizing I was a victim too, Juju. We all were. I hate to sound harsh, but but you're an adult and can hear these things now. I tried my damn hardest to protect you all. For you to shit on all my effort in your rant and call me almost every name in the book in front of our therapist, your siblings, and the blatantly visible disrespect to me, all of it truly uncalled for. I will not have contact with you until you apologize to me for what you said. You broke my heart, Juju, but Mama still loves you, and me going no contact with you is to show that you can't just hurt someone because you yourself are hurting. I will be over to see your sisters later at my mom's place to talk one-on-one with them. I will appreciate it if you are there to apologize. But if you will not, then I highly ask that you not be there. The email really crushed me. I completely understand that she was a victim as well. Like I mentioned to a kind Redditor that messaged me last night, she did provide what she could. Yet there were many moments we either went hungry or without some necessities. One of my most embarrassing moments was asking strangers on the street for money so me and my sisters could get pads and tampons. My mom's third boyfriend threw ours out because he didn't believe in periods. That whole ordeal, among others, was humiliating. I got a mixture of anger and sadness when she said she tried her hardest to protect us. Where was the determination when her boyfriends would beat the hell out of me and my older brother because we didn't want them alone with our sisters or touching our younger sisters? Where was she when she heard me getting abused in a room right next to her and heard me screaming for her? In her eyes, she did her best. In my eyes, she did absolutely nothing, and I told her as much in our session. Like many of you pointed out, she may have been a victim, but she did nothing to protect us. I have to sit with that for the rest of my life. My siblings have to deal with that for the rest of their lives. I have to work through all the damage she caused while she gets to play hero and have her redemption arc. I'm done with her, and I'm happy to know the feeling is mutual according to her. She did call my grandmother this morning during breakfast and demanded that she let her see her kids. My grandmother told her that she could try, but she wasn't coming past the gate unless my sisters wanted her to. My grandmother put her phone on speaker and asked my sisters if they wanted to see her. My youngest sister actually responded this time and said no, and not for a very long time at the minimum. My mom tried to scream at my grandmother, but I could hear her voice cracking from trying not to cry on the phone. My grandmother told her she could go F herself and don't call her again. After that is when the conversation about no contact got put into overdrive. My siblings have their own memories of her to account for. They aren't comfortable with me sharing them, so I really just shared mine and a bit of my brother's. It's just all so surreal to me. I thought that maybe she was actually okay with being alone, but here she is, not being truthful of when she broke up with her most recent ex. I didn't ask because I don't even care anymore. Yet she's already in a new relationship? It's a hard thing to grasp that my mother just can't be alone. I even feel disgusting calling her my mother because it stings to know that she never really was a mother. Not to me or my siblings. For my family that has been messaging me, I just blocked them on every social media platform. They stopped trying to call me since I set up my phone with an app to reject all calls from unknown numbers that aren't my contacts. As for my mom, I copied and posted my response here. Victoria, since you are no longer my mother, I have no need for formality. You know of the pain you caused me and my two siblings. You know you didn't do anything. You know that you never even had a grain of a maternal instinct. If you did, you never would have allowed us to get hurt. I know you can't sleep at night with those thoughts running around in your head. I hope for the rest of your life it eats you up inside. Your new boyfriend will be the only thing by your side when you are frail and almost dust. I'm done allowing you to hurt not only me but my brother and sister as well. You have no right to try to prance your happy fake self into our lives now that you see we are doing well without you. It hurts, doesn't it? To know that even through all the pain, we are 10 times the better person you could ever imagine in your twisted little head. You don't have to worry about me contacting you. I will have nothing to do with you. Even after your death, I will have no connection and hopefully no memories of you. You may still be alive and breathing, but to me, you are a shallow corpse of a stranger, and I intend to keep it that way. You live in a fantasy world, and I hope on your deathbed you have such a crippling feeling of regret that you croak on the spot. Don't ever contact me or my siblings again. My brother wants you to know he'll spit on your grave if he ever finds out you died, so sleep well with that. I'm not too proud of my response, but at this point she is dead to me. She should have been a long time ago, but it felt so good to get that pain from the most internal part of my chest. I'm pretty sure she won't put up a fight seeing as my words hurt her so much. If she does and her antics are crazy enough, I'll update again. However, for now I'm taking a well-deserved break, and I'm signing myself up for therapy. I realize I have a lot of anger and resentment built up that I need to work through correctly and positively. Thank you all for the support and the kind messages. I will be posting some of them on a vision board to help through my therapy. Thank you Reddit so much for being here in a time of need for a stranger. Love you all.